May the 4th be with you all. Unless your name is Brian. I don't have a reason, I just don't like anybody named Brian today. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and happy Thursday. So recently I've had a lot of requests to go over my favorite player on every team because I did that a couple years ago. And I'm gonna agree to do that, however, I'm gonna tweak it a little bit because last time I did my favorite player on every team currently. This time it's gonna be my favorite player on every team all time. This will really help too, especially for those teams that I just hate every single person on them. Kansas City. Anyway, running through the plugs quick. As you guys already know, you can use my code on PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app, if you're 18 years or older, or on gfuel.com. It'll save you 20% or match up to $100 of your first deposit. But also through Mother's Day, I'm partnering with ParentPresents.com, so if you want to hook your mom up with some unique, affordable gifts for Mother's Day, hit the link in my bio and it will bring you to the ultimate Mother's Day gift guide of 2023. All right, I think I hit everything. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are at today's list and we just got one column, it's my besties. That being said, we can just begin now. We have San Francisco starting us off. I'd say my favorite 49er of all time, honestly, probably George Kittle. The guy's just a maniac, dude. He's insane. Not only is he super likable off the field, but on the field, you'll see him completely destroy somebody and he'll just be dying laughing while doing it. You know, obviously, if I was around to watch Jerry Rice play live, I'd probably be saying he is much more entertaining than George Kittle, but I wasn't. George Kittle is going to be the 49er that I always remember for just being a goofball. In a good way, because he's a beast, too. Now we've got the Vikings. I know you guys think I'm gonna say, Randy! But no, Adam Thielen. A lot of you guys probably actually know that. I mean, he's just the Minnesota boy. He grew up in Minnesota watching the Vikings, went to Mankato State to play football, broke every receiving record, and then after that, he wasn't ever supposed to do anything. However, he didn't give up. He ended up making the Vikings practice squad and then became a starter on the team for, what, 8 years straight? Love that man. All right, up next, we've got the Steelers, and before he went nuts, Antonio Brown. He actually just used to be a very normal, chill dude. Showed up, dominated, went home. But now, since it'd probably be frowned upon to say AB, I'm gonna say the bus. Next up, we got the Ravens, Des Bryant. I'm kidding. It's gotta be Ray Lewis. I mean, I like Ed Reed. I really do like Lamar Jackson a lot too. But Ray Lewis was just so crazy, so nuts, so bizarre. You remember him forever, you'll talk about him forever. He's probably my favorite flock member ever. Now we're on to the Titans. DJ 2K, maybe? I like Derrick Henry, but I don't love Derrick Henry. I don't think I've ever loved a Tennessee Titan ever. Steve McNair was really fun to play as in one of the old Madden games too. I'd say him or CJ, honestly. Now we've got the Patriots. Just to spite him, I want to say Randy Moss, but obviously it's gonna be Tom Brady. I'm a Tom Brady guy. I like him. I think he's a likable person on and off the field. I know his ethics have been always in question, but even though he kicked Buffalo's ass for 20 years, the guy still managed to never make me hate him. Now we're on to Carolina. For me, it's not going to be Steve Smith. It's actually Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was a monster, man. It's so sad that he had to retire after, what, 2019? Now we're on to Chicago. I am not kidding. My favorite Bear ever is Jay Cutler. This guy was memed into me liking him. I mean, off the field, he's hilarious, but on the field, he was kind of just a lousy piece of shit. Threw a ton of interceptions, just was not very good. But just the nonstop memes about him smoking cigarettes and eating chicken wings the caveman way and everything else just got me to like the guy. Now we're on to Miami. I honestly don't really know. I've always hated them. Jason Taylor was pretty dope. Obviously, Dan Marino's a GOAT, but I can't really say I've watched a ton of Dan Marino. I feel like Jalen Waddle will probably end up being my favorite Dolphin ever, honestly, because right now I really like Jalen Waddle. So if he continues to play there, it'll just be him. Now we're on to the Bengals. Boomer Esiason. No, my favorite Bengal ever, Joe Burrow. Never really had a connection to the Bengals until Joe Burrow was there, even though I did like AJ Green. And yeah, I'm not saying Chad Johnson because fuck that guy. Next up, we got the Browns. It's obviously Nick Chubb. First thing I do when I wake up every morning is check to make sure Nick Chubb is okay. He normally calls the cops on me because he doesn't like me staring in his windows, but I gotta make sure. On to Dallas. I hated these guys for so long before I started to develop any respect for them, and that's me being so honest. It was disdain, man. I really do like Micah Parsons, but I've always thought Michael Irvin was just super cool. Even like after his career, he's just been like a really cool dude, and obviously prime time, but I think I might use him for a different team. Actually, no, I don't think I will use him for the Falcons. Maybe we'll go with prime time, just because he's like literally the greatest corner ever. Okay, on to the Broncos, and this is gonna be weird, man. They've got a lot of players, actually, that have been great, and they've got a lot of players that I've really liked over the years. My favorite Bronco ever, probably just now since he's been part of the Bills, has gotta be Von Miller, because I've always liked Von Miller, so now he's got a little bit of bonus. But aside from Von Miller, I've always really liked Emmanuel Sanders when he played there. Brandon Marshall way back when was a dog there. Champ Bailey, really a historic team, honestly. Now we've got the Lions. Oh, right away, Megatron, like, yeah. Right after him, it's Barry Sanders, just because his stats are honestly hilarious to look at. I did like Matt Stafford a lot as well when he was in Detroit. Don't forget when Darius Slay was there either, but I gotta say Megatron. All right, now we got Green Bay. Brett Favre. He's a legend to the game, not only to that team, but to the game. You think of football, a lot of people think of Brett Favre almost immediately. Next up, we got Washington. I have no, maybe Alex Smith, weirdly, just because of the story that he had there. Never paid much attention to them. Which would explain why you underrate us so much. You guys are gonna be bad. I don't give a shit what you say. You're gonna be bad. Now we've got the Jets. Darrelle Revis, probably. It's another team I've never really been a fan of, obviously. Now we're on to the Falcons. My favorite Falcon of all time is always going to be Mr. Julio Jones. On a talent scale, that man is for sure a top 10 wide receiver ever. He was so good. And he was a fantasy monster for about a 3-year stretch, too. It was disgusting. Remember, he would always just have a really quiet game, and then one drive, he would have 7 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. And it would just fuck you over. All right, now we're on to the Cardinals. Speaking of receivers, Larry Fitzgerald. He is one of my favorite players ever, period. Now we've got the Eagles, and for me, it's Jalen Hurts, because I've been right. I said that he should have been a first-round pick. Really wanted the Vikings to get him, but they didn't. The Eagles ended up snagging him in round 2, where the guy ended up just stealing Carson Wentz's job, and now he is one of the best quarterbacks in football. To everybody's shock besides me. I know a dog when I see one. Now we've got the Texans. JJ Watt, gotta be. Prime JJ Watt, not only, a super good dude, not only a super likable dude, one of, if not the best DEs ever. On to the Colts. Gonna be Peyton Manning. Just because, yes, he's a funny dude, he's a likable dude, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time as well. But, weirdly, I've always really liked Edgerrin James. There was a game that I used to play as him on. I think it was the same one I was Steve McNair on, honestly. But the guy was a wrecking ball, so naturally I just liked the guy. All right, on to Buffalo. Don't even really have to think about this one. It is Josh Allen, without a doubt. He changed the culture. He's paved the way for what they are today. Up next, we got the Seahawks. For me, it's Beast Mode. If it wasn't him, it'd be Earl Thomas, but Beast Mode was just such a funny character as well. I mean, how many running backs do you see out there throwing up 2 touchdowns in 100-yard games and then walking onto the sideline and pounding down Skittles? Up next, we've got Jacksonville. Ugh, this is another one I don't have a good answer for. Honestly, it might be Trevor. Now we got the Bucks, and it's Mike Evans. That guy is just growing on me over time. From him just being a beast year after year after year, it's just been a respect thing. Now we got the Chiefs. Jamal Charles. After the Chiefs, we've got the Chargers. Antonio Gates, I really like him. I think that he is very slept on when it comes into the greatest tight end ever race. Like, I don't think he is anymore, but I think he is definitely top 3. He was a very good tight end for a very long time. On to the Raiders. To me, it's Derek Carr. If you're asking me, he should still be the quarterback there right now. Moving on, we got the Giants. I'm not going to say Lawrence Taylor here. I honestly wasn't even really an Eli fan, even though I definitely think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm going to say Odell Beckham. It's where he became him. Now we've got the Saints. Mark Ingram. Always liked Mark Ingram, even though I hated the Saints for the longest time. Marky Mark was my boy. And ending, we got the Rams. Oh, could be Todd Gurley. Could be Marshall Faulk. Could be Aaron Donald. I guess Aaron Donald if I had to pick one. He's just been a beast forever. Anyway, guys, that is it for me telling you who my favorite player of all time is on every NFL team. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you already know what to do to show support, and you know I appreciate it. With everything I just said, I'm gonna hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday, and as always, I will see you in the next video.